The more you want success, the harder it will be for you to get it, and it can completely fuck you up. Let's get straight into it, right? The more you need something, the more that thing will run away from you. The more you chase it, the faster it will run away from you. The more you need that client, the more you need that 10K per month, the 20K per month, 30K per month, the more it will run away from you. Because you are signaling to God and to the universe and to your subconscious mind that you don't have it. And if you don't have it, you cannot have it. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. Imagine here is a entrepreneur, let's call him Bob, right? And Bob, right, when he wakes up, he checks his phone, right? He checks his phone and he wants to see results, right? So the first thing when he wakes up, he checks his phone, he looks at Stripe, right? He checks his WAP account. He's like, oh, maybe money came in, nothing happened. Then he starts refreshing Stripe like a crack addict, and he's dependent upon results. Then he gets a bit sad, right? A bit sad. Then he goes on Instagram and says, oh, maybe one of my videos blow up. Nothing happened. Maybe a new client messaged me. Nothing happened. Then he goes on YouTube and he says, oh, maybe my video blew up. Nothing happened. Bob gets progressively more sad because he's a results thinking person. He's too dependent upon seeing results, and he reacts emotionally when he doesn't get results. So what does this feeling and this paradigm, this electromagnetic field signal through Bob's subconscious mind? That he doesn't have it, that he's a brokey, that he isn't where he wants to be. So he will start to feel bad about himself, right? He will start to feel broke. He will start to feel useless, right? He will have all these negative emotions. And he's actually programming his subconscious mind for those very things, because he's dependent upon seeing reality change. Also, another explanation on why this is happening, let me wipe the whiteboard, is because Bob places too much importance on the thing that he wants. He cares too much. He gives too much of a fuck on these things when he shouldn't really, right? Here is Bob, and let's take the example of his neck is absurdly long, by the way, and Bob wants to get a new client, right? But he gives importance to this client. He gives importance to money. Let's take money for an example, right? He gives importance to money. So if he gives importance to money, he will place it on a pedestal. And when he does this, he creates energetical space between him and the thing that he wants. The larger this energetical space is between Bob and the things that he wants, the harder it will be for Bob to achieve it. Now, if Bob doesn't really give a fuck about the results, he doesn't really give a fuck about money, now this energetical space will collapse, right? So it will vanish. So Bob will now be closer energetically to the thing that he wants, because he will start to embody the state, the version of him that already has this thing. Because let me ask you a question: if you already had money, would you want money? If you already had 10K per month or 20K per month or whatever your revenue goal is, would you want that money? Would you really want it? Would you place too much importance upon it? Probably not, because you have it. This is your state of being. This is who you are. You make 10K a month. Why would you want 10K a month? You already make it, right? And this is the mentality we should adopt. Now, we understand why being a results-based thinking person is bad, right? Because the more you refresh Stripe like a crack addict, the more desperate you are to close a guy, or the most desperate you are for a video to blow up or for a contract to close, the more that energy will run away from you, right? The more you disrupt the balance of the universe, right? It will run away from you instead of running towards you. It's as simple as that. And if you place importance on top of it, then it's actually tough. Then it's actually really, really tough. You are diminishing like every possibility for you to get that thing, because the energy doesn't correlate it, right? It's like trying to put a plus battery with a plus battery together. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. Now, how do we get into a state of mind? How do we reprogram our subconscious mind to stop giving a fuck emotionally about results, to stop checking Stripe like a maniac, and to stop placing too much importance on the thing that we want, to stop being in this survival paradigm? When we get out of this survival paradigm and on caring about results, we get into the creative paradigm and we can actually get things, right? So we need to understand that you have an old version of yourself, right? The old version of yourself. So that means your current. You have a way to think about things, you have a way you feel, you have a way you behave, you have a way you act, you have a way you respond, you have a way you place your attention upon things, right? So this is you, right? This is you right now. This is your current self. You have thoughts, you have feelings, right? You have actions, and you have an identity. Then there is your desired self, right? The guy that already has it, the version of you that already has everything that you want. That is the new version of yourself. And this guy has all these things, but different. Right? Because a version of you that has the thing that you want, maybe that's 30K per month, right? Will have all those things differently than you have them now. So it means he thinks differently, he feels differently, he acts differently, and he has a different identity. So if we want to get 30K per month, right, we need to change all those things. So it means you need to change your thoughts. How would a version of you that has 30K per month would act? How would a version of you that has 30K per month would feel? How would a version of you that has 30K per month would act? How was his identity? How would he communicate, right? How would he be? And the more we try to be aware of these things and actually implement them in our day-to-day life, right? The more we'll start to feel and behave and act like this new version of ourselves. So imagine, the first thing when you wake up, you meditate, right? You brush your teeth, you don't check your phone, right? You don't care, because you already have 30K per month. Why would you want to check if you have 30K per month? Because you are the version of you that has 30K per month. So you'll think, oh, I have 30K per month, 30K per month is easy, right? You'll feel good, you'll have positive thoughts, right? When you wake up in the morning, you won't check your phone, because this is not how you act, right? This is not how the new version of you would act. So then how would you feel, right? How would you feel if you had 30K per month? You'll feel secure, confident, you'll feel more important, right? Better about yourself, more confident. It doesn't matter, right? Feel those emotions now. Because, let me give you this thing. There is a verse in the Bible, Proverbs 23.7, right? That says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So it means that thoughts combined with emotions create your reality. And this is proven by science as well. Because we all have electromagnetic fields, and we have one in the brain, we have one in the heart. Now the one in the heart is 60 to 100 times more powerful than the one in the mind. So it means that what we feel is actually more important than what we think. But if we think and feel like we already have it, then we will send with our thoughts electric currents, and with our heart we will attract it. Right? So we will be placed in a frequency where when we do the work, things will come towards us, not us trying to get towards them. It's really fascinating when you think about it, right? So have thoughts that resonate with you being at your target, right? Feel like you already are at the target. You can use things like visualizations and meditations to make you feel those emotions even more, right? Then also with your actions, you can trigger thoughts and feelings that resonate with you hitting your target goal. So how would you act on a day-to-day basis? Would you work more, right? What would you work on? Would you delegate your work? How would you speak? How would you act? How would you walk? How would you talk? Every single talk and speak is the same thing, but yeah, how would you behave in general. Start buying new clothes, right? Start doing all these things differently. Do things as the new version of yourself will do it, and don't fear that it might not change, because fear is the opposite of faith. The more you fear, the more you attract the things that you fear, because fearing is feeling, and you attract, right, what you have into the heart. 60 to 100 times more powerful. So if you fear, you will attract more of that which you fear, right? The more you feel like you have the thing that you want, the more you will attract that thing. And then act, right? It's a shift. Instead of working, then getting, then feeling, you start to feel, then work, then get. Because you want your goal, let's take 30k per month for an example, because you want to feel different. If I said, oh, you have 30k per month, but you cannot use it, and you cannot tell anyone about it, you'll be like, oh, this is pointless, right? You want 30k per month so you can feel secure that you have 30k per month, so you can feel important, more confident, more relaxed, etc., etc. It depends from person to person. So it's actually the feeling that matters. So if you reverse engineer this process, right, with the law of reversibility, it means that the feeling, right, will get you what you want when you work with it, right? You think like you have it, you feel like you have it, you act like you have it, and then your whole identity shifts. Then your subconscious mind will be like, oh, I have it, right? I have it. So it'll be placed in situations where you will actually be able to get it, right? You will spot more opportunities. People will be more attracted to you, right? Clients will want to work with you because you are that person. You are that person. You are that guy. Energy comes to you. And when you feel so good within your heart, right? You feel so good within your heart that you have it. You feel like you have it, right? You are this new person, even if you are not seeing results, right? Results are not yet showing. Results are not yet showing, but you still don't care, because you are this person within. You are this person within. And when you are this person within, it just takes some time to happen to happen in the physical plane, to happen in reality. It takes some time. Matter needs to rearrange itself. If someone calls delusional, says, say okay, right? It's okay. Matter didn't readapt yet, but it will. I just need to hold all this thing with conviction, right? And it will eventually happen. So when you don't see results, right? Even if you implement all these things, you stay disciplined in thinking, feeling, and acting, and having the identity of the version of yourself that has it, and you don't see results, or worse, things go wrong, then you should just respond, not react, right? The more you react emotionally, so for example, nothing is changing, and you start being like, fuck, this doesn't work, this is just bullshit. That's not what the new version of you would think, feel, and act, right? So the more you get frustrated, the more you emotionally react. Let me get this black pen. The more you react emotionally to not seeing results, the more you reinforce it, because you are feeding reality that energy. The more you react negatively, the more energy you give it. And the more energy you give it, the more it compounds, right? It stacks and stacks and stacks, and it compounds. So, stop giving a fuck about seeing results. Work on yourself first, right? Stop being a results-thinking person. Start having the mentality of judging the day by what you sow, not by what you reap, right? By what seeds are you planting in your mind, right? What seeds are you planting in your mind, not what plants grow. And then everything will shift for you. And also, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to learn more about this stuff, so I can help you, give you the best visualization methods, also A to Z blueprint on how to reprogram your subconscious mind. This was just a trailer, right? It's a lot more things that are going on. Click the link in the description and let's work together, right? I can definitely help all of entrepreneurs that are watching this video, and I can definitely help you as well. So book in a call, let's talk, let's see if we match, let's see if we vibe, and yeah, let's go on to that. And also, the last thing, right? Be grateful. Be grateful that you are alive. In every situation, right? Even if you face problems, be grateful that you can experience those problems. Remember, if you ask God for flowers, He will give you some rain, right? So actually, diversity and all this stuff, when you try to get to your goal, it's actually a good thing. So be grateful for them. Be grateful that you're alive. Be grateful that you breathe. Be grateful that you have the opportunity to get what you want. And be grateful that you already have it within. Because you do. You have it within. If you have it within, it's basically all that matters. And it's just a matter of time, which is just an illusion, right? Before the world will start to prove it to you. And yeah, that is it.